Hello, 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 hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello? Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Anybody? Amy from West Virginia, welcome. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Putting lotion on my hands. I wash them so much through the day. My hands are just so dry. They were cracking last week. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for the follow, Amy. I appreciate that. Oh, that's better. Much better. Wait for a few more. I'm a little late tonight, guys. Sorry. Had to take my dog outside and I still hadn't got a topic from my guide. So, not a lot to talk about tonight, guys. My day was a long day. So, I'm like, give me something short tonight. So, it's probably going to be a really short live. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'm going to wait a few more minutes. We'll see how some more people get on and then I'll get started. I know I'm running late. Sorry. It's just one of those days, guys. Valerie from Kansas, welcome. Michael, is that right? Thank you for the badge. Appreciate that. All right, we'll just wait another minute. We'll see where we're at. We'll just get started otherwise. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that too. Sorry, guys. I got it. My baggage is in San Diego. Welcome. And I missed some. Hold on. Crystal, thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Thank you for the badge, Dave. Timboxu Faith. Okay. Well, if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for the badge. You're retiring? Well, that sounds awesome. Sarah from Iowa. What part of Iowa? Sarah, I'm from Iowa too, originally. Okay, it looks like our numbers are going up. So Curtis from, I'm just going to say Illinois because I don't know if I can say that tonight. Curtis, thank you for the badge. Des Moines? Okay, I was from about 75 miles north of Des Moines, right off I-35. Thank you for the badge. I'm not sure your name. Do you have a name and where you're from? Soul Whispers, you're back. Okay. Aw, thank you for the heart. I appreciate that so much. AJ, thank you for the badge. You're in the Chicago area. Do you have a name and where you're do you have a name from the Chicago area? Aw, thank you for that too. And thank you for the badge. You guys are awesome. Okay, guys. Well, I'm running late, so just keep doing your thing. Thank you for the likes. Try and get a little bit comfortable here tonight. Oh, none of my business, huh? Okay. Well, thank you for the badge and stuff anyway. So if you've been here before, I apologize. I sound like a broken record if you've been here before, but so I created my TikTok a year ago in March. My name is Renee and I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And so, like I was saying, so I created my TikTok a year ago in March. Thank you for the follow. The reason I did that is on September 14th of 2023. Sarah, thank you for the follow. It is Sarah, right? Thank you for the follow. And the badge, you guys are great. September 14th of 2023, for TikTok purposes, my husband unalived himself. Sarah, okay. I'm glad I got it right. And so that's when I discovered that I had abilities to talk to my guides, and they slowly breadcrumb me to my purpose, which is to be here with all of you lovely people. My purpose is to help others through their loss and their traumas. And so that's why I'm here. Thank you. I appreciate that. And so basically that's what my page is about. I only have 2 rules here. Is it Trish? Thank you for the follow. The first one is just, we always just ask that you be kind. I ask you be kind to everyone. And the second one is we don't talk any politics here. That's just not what my page is about. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sarah. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Well, you're on the right page if you'd like to talk about the loss of your sister-in-law. That's what we do here. We talk about loss and trauma and healing and them kind of things. And if you're just lonely and you need a place to go, then that's what my page is for. And so, like I said, we don't talk any politics here. It's not one side or the other. It's just not what my page is about. Is it Baby Girl? Bay Girl. Thank you for the follow. Plant Yourself in Hope. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. If you missed it, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. So I always like to say, I always like to say, oh, thank you for the heart. I appreciate that. Okay. Sorry. Persistent call. Sorry about that, guys. Lost my train of thought for a second. I always like to say, I am where I am on my journey of life, and you are on your journey of life. And we're all going to agree on everything. And so we just agree to disagree here. So I just ask, if you can't do that, then you just hop off and keep scrolling. Sorry, guys, I'm really tired, and then that got my train of thought off. So I apologize. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Trish, thank you for the heart. I appreciate that. Thank you for the badge, Wade. I appreciate that too so much, guys. And so, yeah, so when I go live, I usually have a topic. So tonight I put down, my guide gave me trusting your intuition. We're just going to have a really quick live tonight. Good. I'm glad that I didn't mess that up. It's just going to be a really quick live, guys. I work 2 jobs if you're not familiar. And so some days are just longer than others. Hi, Danielle from New Jersey. Welcome. Glad to have you here. So my day usually starts, sorry guys. My day usually starts early, sometime between 4:30 and 5 in the morning. And so by this time of night, I apologize. Sometimes my brain is a little frazzled. But this is the only time it seems to work into my schedule. So anyway, so just real quick, we're going to talk about trusting your intuition, and are you on the right path to your purpose? Hold on, guys. Sorry. Somebody's just being very... Sorry about that, guys. I had to send that person... I sent a message, or I put a message, but didn't send it. So that person that's been trying to get a hold of me didn't see it. Apparently didn't read the message I just sent either. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so basically we're going to talk about, are you on the path to your purpose? Anybody have anything they would like to, we're not shy here, by the way. I apologize. My life tonight's just not real organized. It normally is more organized than this, but I was tired and she didn't give me very much. And so sometimes she just gives me a topic and says, go on. And then other nights I get a topic and I get 2 pages of stuff to talk about. So, but we're going to talk about purpose. So, after my husband passed, I started meditating. If you're new here, I'm the odd girl out, the unique girl. And, so my husband didn't leave me in a great spot financially. So therapy was out and I knew group therapy wasn't going to work for me, right? And so I decided when I was going to stay on this planet that I had to figure out a way to heal myself. And so I deep dived into journaling and meditation. And in meditation, then I discovered that I had these abilities to talk to my guides. And so if you missed the beginning part, my guides slowly breadcrumb me to my purpose. And so one of the first messages I ever got in meditation, because that's how I used to get my messages were in meditation. And now I can kind of get them whenever and however. But so one of the first messages I ever got was, what heals you will heal others. And so that was my very first breadcrumb, or my very first puzzle piece to leading me to what was my purpose, right? So does anybody else on here know what their purpose is in life, or what they should be doing, or what they're supposed to be doing? Anybody? Just know that we're not shy here, and my page is very interactive and you're never interrupting me. And I also believe the topic goes where the topic is supposed to go. So yes, Walnut. Oh, you're back. You know your purpose? Does anybody else here know their purpose or why they're here? You have no idea, Sarah. Are you curious to know what your purpose is? You love to help people. Okay, that's a great start. So what Walnut just said, do you have a name, by the way? Thank you for the badge. Yes, plant yourself in hope. You know your purpose. That's awesome. Thank you for the likes and the badge. Paula. Okay, Paula, glad to meet you. Glad that you're here. And you love helping people. So that's a great start, to help people. Okay. So that's a great start. So that's actually something that my guides had me write down. What do you love to do? Right? So if you're trying to figure out, I'm Jimbo. Okay. Hi, Jimbo. Welcome. We're so glad that you're here. Sorry, I just cannot talk tonight. I apologize. I can't talk any night, but tonight it's worse than ever. So what do you love to do? And that's what my guide was telling me to put out there. What do you love to do? Right? How do you know what you're here to do? Well, usually it starts with, what do you love to do, right? A spiritual psychotherapist. Did I say that correctly? That's awesome. What exactly is that? Like, do you have like because that is awesome. And do you get a degree for that? I'm just curious. Sorry. I'm full of questions if you talk to me, by the way, so you never have to answer, obviously, but if you talk to me, I will ask you questions generally. Spiritual psychotherapist. That's awesome. So yeah, so that's a good way to tap into what your purpose is what's the first thing, what do you like to do? I used to be shy 30 years ago, I was shy. And, but then about 20 years ago, I had some visions. Well, more like 10 years ago, I had visions. But before that, I was like, maybe I want to speak in public, right? And then I had these visions, and then, like I said, and then my guides, like I said, the first message I ever got is what heals me will heal others. And so then that things that they give me throughout showed me what I was supposed to be doing, that I had to go through everything that I went through, exactly how I went through it, in order to help other people. So I was already spiritual, so I incorporated that in the therapy. That's awesome. Well, that's kind of what I do here, a little bit. And that's cool. We need more spiritual therapy. Kind of was very natural. That's awesome. That's so awesome. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. And then my guide said, what does your intuition lead you, right? So we're all given an intuition, which I believe is a guide from, some would say God. I just don't say God if you're new here. I believe in a creator. I just don't say God. You're so welcome. And you're welcome to say God. Like I said, I'm not here to convince anybody any different. I've just been down enough rabbit holes to know there was many gods. Which one are you referring to? So I say divine, creator, source. Same thing. I just don't say God. But I believe that you were created with an intuition that was source, God, whatever it is you believe. Put that inside of you. That's your internal compass, right? And I've told people, if you're new here, I tell people all the time, there's like 2 major times in my life that I didn't listen to my intuition, and I regretted it. And I will regret that for the rest of my life. So always, always listen to your intuition. Your intuition never lies. Like I said, it's your internal compass from source or God. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. Let's see what else. So regardless of where you are on your journey, this is from my guide. Regardless of where you are on your journey, your guardian angels want you to know that now is the time to refocus more of your energy on your growth and your understanding of where you should be and where you want to be in this life. So if you haven't seen my videos, I have a lot of videos, especially recently, where, and I apologize, guys, I knew that I was forgetting something. I told you I was tired tonight. I forgot to turn my light on. Sorry, blind y'all. So a lot of my videos right now are about what's your God-given talent? What did source or creator, whatever it is you believe, what is that talent and why aren't you using it? Or maybe you are using it, but a lot of people aren't using their talent, right? I don't co-host, guys. I'm sorry. Not right now anyway. And so my guide's really hitting home with that, because they're really wanting people to get back to what's important. What's important is their purpose, their dreams, their, what are you here? What are you supposed to be doing here? Right. And maybe your purpose is just to be here to touch one life, right? And maybe your purpose here is to touch many lives, that doesn't make your purpose any less important than somebody else's. But I'm right there with my guides when she's giving me these messages to put out in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening when I'm doing them, is that I truly believe right now more than ever, we need people to get back to what is really important and why are you really here, right? So if you don't know, so I was with my husband since I was 16 years old. I started having babies at 17. And so, I had my kids, I was a wife, and my whole life I felt like something was missing, right? It's like, I just felt like there was this tug for more, that I was supposed to be doing something else, but I didn't know what, right? And I literally would lay awake at night and I would cry, because I was like, what is my purpose here, right? I was a mother of 3 kids and a wife, but I just didn't feel fulfilled with that. Like there was something missing my entire life. And so after my husband passed, my kids are all grown and my husband passed. And after I got that message, then I was like, okay. And then I was getting other messages and it was like, okay, so what is my purpose, right? So then I was on this quest to find my purpose. But as soon as I kind of let it all fall into place, it all fell into place versus me hunting for what my purpose is. Does that make sense? Like when I stopped putting all my focus on, okay, what is my purpose? It came, right? And so if you've never heard this story, so like I said, when I first started getting messages from my guides, I would go into meditation. That's how I would get them. As my abilities have grown stronger, now I don't have to meditate to get messages. They just come. But at the time I would have to, sit in my room in the dark, that stereotype of meditation, right? Which you don't have to meditate that way, by the way. And I can go into that at another time. But, so I would go into meditation. So one morning, it was probably about a month and a half after I got that first message. And my guides had, like I said, slowly breadcrumbed me to that point. By that point, I finally just said, you know what? When I'm meant to know, it'll come. And so I go into meditation. I meditated. I get songs from my guides, or from my guide actually. And, that usually there's a message that comes with the song. But that morning I went into meditation. I didn't get anything. And just as I was coming out of meditation, I got a song, but I knew it wasn't from my guide. And I don't know how to explain it to you, but I knew it wasn't from my guide. It was from my husband. And so I had gotten the song, If I Could Turn Back Time. And I could hear the verse, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way. Pardon my singing. All my singing abilities went to my daughter. And I knew that was right there in that moment. I knew that was from my husband. And I just started to cry because I knew, by the way, if you're just hopping on, my name is Renee. Oh, thank you, Destiny. I appreciate that. They're my readers. Thank you for the badge. Sorry, I lose my train of thought so easy. So at that moment, like I said, I knew that the song was from my husband and I knew what he was saying. So if you're new here, like I said, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. And, I knew that the song was from him and I started to cry because I knew he was saying, so if you don't know, my husband unalived himself for TikTok purposes. And he was trying to tell me if he could turn back time. And in that moment, I realized that he couldn't. Even if he could, he couldn't. Because it all came to me right at that moment that I had to go through everything I went through, exactly how I went through it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry about your aunt. Thank you for the badge. And so that's when it hit me that was part of my purpose, that I had to go through losing him exactly how I lost him in order for me to fulfill my purpose. And as hard as that was, right? Like to know that, no, I couldn't turn back time. Even if I could, I couldn't. Because I had to lose him for me to fulfill my purpose. And my purpose is to help other people through their loss and hopefully to get the message out there and then to have where nobody ever has to go through what I went through, right? Thank you for the badge, Destiny. I appreciate that. So anyway, so just know that if you're on the hunt for your purpose, what is the first thing you need to focus on? What is it that you love to do? What does your gut, your intuition tell you should be doing, That's what you should, that's a great start if you don't know. And that's pretty much what she gave me tonight, guys. Like I said, sometimes she gives me a little, sometimes she gives me a lot. I told her, let's make this short and sweet because it really has been a long day. I hope that's been helpful. I just have to give my shameless plugs now or my guides get upset with me. So if you're not familiar, and I hate to leave you hanging too. So if you have any questions about that, you're sure welcome to message me or comment. And we can go into that more, but start with what is it that you love and what is your gut really, really pulling you to do. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that you hopped on my live tonight. So if you're not familiar, I have a YouTube channel. I'm also a medium. So my YouTube channel is called Scorpio Medium. And if you're not a subscriber, I would really love it if you go over there and subscribe. You'll find all my videos that I have here over there. The only difference is if you miss a live, I upload my lives usually the next day over there. And so if you miss one, you can catch it over there. I'm usually live Sunday through Wednesday between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time-ish. Tonight I was a little late. Sometimes I'm a little early. Sometimes I'm a little late. Let's see. Thursday nights, I'm going to try to start going live. I've been saying that for a couple weeks, but I haven't made it happen yet. Thank you for all the likes. I appreciate that. Thank you for the badge. Veronica, I am so sorry I haven't got back with you. It has been, last week was a crazy week for me with work. I was just extremely exhausted last week. So far this week ain't starting off much better. So I will get back with you. I apologize for that. It's just been one of those weeks and a half for me. But anyway, so Thursdays, I'm going to try to start going live over there as between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time because I have a lot of people over there that are subscribed that aren't on TikTok. And let's see. If you would like to book a channeling session with the other side with me, you can check out my email is in the bio here or in my bio over there. And I think that pretty much covers it. Thank you all for hopping on tonight. I'm sorry that I was so frazzled tonight and that it was a very, very short live. Normally I'm here for about an hour and I'm usually a lot more prepared. It's just been a really, really long day. Like I said, my day starts between 4:30 and 5 and it's just been a long day. So I appreciate you all so much. I appreciate all the likes, all the badges, all of the love that you showed me. Hopefully I'll catch you another night. I'll be back tomorrow night between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Hopefully a little less tired. I hope y'all have a great night and I hope you make tomorrow great because it is a choice. Have a good night. Thank you.